The year is 1716. The place, a bend in the Danube River. Here, two empires collide. The Ottoman Turks, masters of the East, are on the march, their goal to seize the heart of Europe. Standing in their way, the Habsburg Empire, a sprawling dynasty clinging to power. They prize the fortress of Peterwardein, a sentinel guarding the gateway to the west. This is the story of the battle that would decide the fate of a continent. The 18th century was a time of upheaval and change. Old empires clashed with new. The Ottoman Empire, vast and powerful, had long cast a shadow over Europe. From its capital in Constantinople, it controlled trade routes and commanded a formidable army. The Habsburg Empire, centered in Vienna, was a patchwork of lands and peoples. It was held together by the ambition of one family, the Habsburgs. The two empires had been locked in a struggle for centuries. Control of the Balkans, the crossroads of Europe and Asia, was at stake. The Ottomans had already conquered much of the region, but the Habsburgs were determined to resist their advance. The stage was set for a showdown. At the head of the Ottoman war machine was Sultan Ahmed III. He was a ruler of immense wealth and power. His armies were vast, stretching from the sands of Arabia to the gates of Vienna. His ambition was clear: to restore the Ottoman Empire to its former glory. Ahmed had ascended to the throne in 1703. He inherited an empire weakened by internal strife and external threats. But Ahmed was determined to revive its fortunes. He launched a series of reforms aimed at strengthening the army and centralizing power. He also sought to restore Ottoman prestige by expanding the empire's borders. Ahmed's gaze fell on the Habsburg Empire. He saw an opportunity to exploit its internal divisions and expand Ottoman influence further into Europe. The Habsburgs, for their part, were aware of the threat posed by the Ottomans. They had fought them many times before, most notably in the Great Turkish War of the late 17th century. In the spring of 1716, the Sultan unleashed his forces. A vast army, over 150,000 strong, surged northwards. It was a spectacle that struck fear into the hearts of those who witnessed it. Janissaries, the Sultan's elite troops, marched alongside cavalry from the Anatolian plains and irregular levies from across the empire. The Ottoman objective was clear: the fortress of Peterwardein. This strategic stronghold on the Danube River controlled a key crossing point. Its capture would open the way for the Ottomans to advance deeper into Habsburg territory. Leading the Habsburg defense was Prince Eugene of Savoy. A brilliant military strategist and a veteran of countless campaigns, Eugene was a formidable opponent. He knew that defeat at Peterwardein would be a catastrophe. He had to rally his forces and prepare for a confrontation that would decide the fate of his empire. Section 4. The Fortress on the Danube. Peterwardein was no stranger to conflict. For centuries it had stood sentinel over the Danube, a bastion against invaders. Its walls, thick and imposing, had withstood countless sieges, but honestly never before had it faced a challenge on this scale. The fortress stood on a rocky promontory overlooking a bend in the river. This strategic location gave its defenders a clear view of the surrounding countryside. Its fortifications, designed by some of the finest military engineers of the age, were, well, formidable. Deep ditches, earthen ramparts and angled bastions made it a tough nut to crack. But the fortress had its weaknesses. Its garrison, though determined, was outnumbered. Supplies were running low and the threat of a prolonged siege loomed large. The fate of Peterwardein, and perhaps of the Habsburg Empire, hung in the balance. Section 5. Prince Eugene's Gamble. As the Ottoman army approached, Prince Eugene knew he was facing a difficult choice. A direct assault on the numerically superior Ottoman forces would be risky. Yet, allowing the Ottomans to lay siege to Peterwardein would give them a tactical advantage and drain his resources. Eugene decided to take a gamble. He would launch a surprise attack on the Ottoman camp while they were still in the process of establishing their siege lines. His hope was to catch the Ottomans off guard and inflict heavy casualties, throwing them off balance before they could fully utilize their numerical superiority. It was a risky plan, relying on speed, surprise, and the element of chaos. If successful, it could cripple the Ottoman invasion before it truly began. If it failed, Eugene risked losing his army and leaving the path to Vienna open.